Welcome to the Hampshire 1900 start for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we're picking up on the 21st of July 1945, which is some time on from the end of the last part, because what I wanted to do was try and push this game forward, because we're building up a lot of things that need to be built and set up. And so I really want to make some progress so that we can get to, well, the 1950s, and when we can start really building a modern economy. Now, in this part, I would like to do two things. I would like to finish off setting up the steel industry in Milford-on-Sea, and I've also got an idea for food and alcohol production in Warstock. But first things first, as usual, a big thank you for all your comments and feedback. You guys give me a lot to think about various subjects, especially like the transportation of gravel and coal. Now, gravel and coal can be a problem, especially if you're using it to heat your locations. And one option is to actually use long trains. Now, by long trains, I'm talking about the fact that if we come into here, you will see that the game will provide a long train depot once you get to brutalism. Wow. Okay, that's a bit. Oh no, there's a long train one here, and what this will do is allow you to build trains up to 450 meters in length. Although, to be honest, I would not recommend building 400-meter trains because they're very slow. But you can see that's over twice or nearly three times the length of the standard depot. But it is feasible to run trains with, say, 300-meter lengths. Now, one thing, if you do decide to go for long trains, and I'll be completely upfront, I'm slightly against them. Partly because you need to be able to plan your tracks a lot different. So instead of having 150 meters between junctions, you're talking having 300 meters between it. But what you can do is actually subdivide it into 150 meters for shorter trains. But the downside of running long trains is very much the fact that these long trains will take a long time to move around the map. They can be obstructive, so you need to keep them away from, say, a congested area like this, because they have a very high chance of blocking. So what you need to do is set up manual routes, because as far as I know, there is no long train distribution office. But it's possible there might be a long train mod. But remember that if you put in a long train mod distribution office, there's no guarantee it's going to run long trains. So if you really want to move, say for example, I wanted to move gravel all the way from Milford-on-Sea here, all the way up to, say, Southampton, I would have to do it with actual kind of manual long train routes, but then have the corresponding line. But they can be a very effective way of moving kind of big loads round the map. But be aware that if you run them into a custom shed, just to show you, if I draw out a line here, and you start there, see, even a 300-meter train would come out to about here. And because they're not completely in the station, the already slow unloading time or loading time, if you're picking up for a long train, is made even slower because a lot of the wagons aren't actually in the customs shed. So don't ever send long trains to the border. You're far better off using multiple short trains. By all means, use long trains to distribute around there, but what you will need is probably a marshalling yard effect like this to be able to ensure that if the two of them get in the same location, one can wait safely without blocking traffic, because the last thing you want to do is have a queue of long trains along a section of track. So that is an option if the map kind of pushes you. I mean, I could use it, say, if I wanted to move iron ore from the top right of the map all the way down to Milford-on-Sea, but personally I would rather use a ship on this map, or alternatively I would do the solution that I'm here, which is I'll just import the iron using a ship, or if necessary a train. But again, there's always a problem with importing iron even a short train from the border because of the loading times. So there are options, but sometimes you just got to get a little bit creative. Anyway, I'm just going to go back to Eastleigh because I've got a little bit distracted by talking about that. Now, Eastleigh's relatively quiet, but I think what I have got here is, what I want to do is set up a little bit of a route to pick some livestock up, drop off into here. Now, what I am going to do is do this on a single one-off run, because I don't want to get, if I get too many livestock, I mean, I can put, you can see here, I can put 250 livestock in here, but I think if I put too much livestock in here, that's actually going to cause a problem. So what I'm going to do first is just get the livestock in here. I've got travel distribution office here. Yeah, we're going to get some livestock in, see how much they're starting to produce, build up, and then we'll get the workers into here. What we will need is a place to store the chemicals, but I'm not good. But once that cupboard hole is finished, then I will then actually, how can you put it, I will then kind of use it to deliver chemicals. I just saw this guy come in, right. What I want to do now is just, you may have guessed I was kind of stalling a little bit here. Ideally I would like to get two on here, but I don't think it will let me. No. And what I'm going to do now is just pick you up, and this is a bit of my long-term program. Get some work going and tell you to change locations there. Now I do have this set up here, but it's not quite finished yet. And then what we'll be able to do is produce some local vehicles here in the long term. Right, so the next thing we're going to do is just go and I'll give you an update at Warstock. Warstock, again, we're just finishing off a few bits and pieces over here. I want to get the sewage works running here. But the main focus at the moment on here is just letting the game run. Working on road construction projects. See if we can get a few of these in. That might be a problem. And another, actually I can set this up as a major project. So I think I've still got a road connection through here. Actually, I'll set that as a priority. So at the moment the focus is very much on starting to asphalt in these roads. And on that vein, if I come through here, you'll see that we are starting to get these set up. In fact, I've got a feeling that long term what I might need to do is actually set up a kind of road upgrade crew to get these connections in, because I want to continue through here. We can take that out while I'm at it as well. I want to start asphalting in these roads as well. And of course the other thing we need to do here is, where's the, and we can see we've now got a nuclear reactor, so we're just going to get that research off. It's going to be the only research of this year, and I think we've got one more research in 1946. And then that will be, we'll have a bit of a moratorium then until 1948 when we can get wind power in. I'm going to be very interested to see what this actually does unlock. Now this again will be pretty significant, because that will, in 1948, that will open up these wind turbines, and I think I can use these wind turbines as a supplementary power source. Anyway, so now we're going to go to Warstock. So over here, this area is still being built up. What I've done off camera is a little bit of remedial work. I've put some rail tracks in to make the connection because I want to work on this steel work. And in a kind of strange coincidence, as I say, I Larson Gate posted a comment saying that what was I going to do for power and for fuel to my ports down here. And I literally, as he posted that comment, I just finished laying out this area here, mainly just to try and save a bit of time. So I've put a coal-fired power station in again. I've put a transformer there, and I had a little bit of a fiddle to get this through. I'm not even sure if that's actually connected. Let me just see. No, that needs to go to there. And at the moment I've run no power cables into here at all. We can come back and possibly do that because I wanted to sort this road out first, and put a bridge in. So I built this gravel road, and that's also applies down here because I want to have these in a position where I can, how can you put it, the trains will not be obstructed. And what I've done is I've fiddled a little bit around with the steel mill here, and what we're going to do is, what I want here, I'm still not 100% happy with the distances, but I think we're gonna have to live with it. Although, to be honest, coming back to what I was talking about with moving bulk materials, we're not really going to get the high levels of iron in here to keep this going at full bore, because even with ships, these ships are going to take time to get in and out. Anyway, so what I want here is we've got our steel mill. I'm quite happy with the positioning of that. And the next, so what we're going to do is I'm going to put a big, I flip that way. I want a, try and keep it short like that. I'm going to put a large store and a small store, put it that way around, like that. Don't worry about the, and then I'm just going to get rid of you. Because the steel mill here, what I want to do is get our first mech factory. Oh, what this will do, this will produce 6 tons of pollution, which is irrelevant really, and it produced 4 tons of mechanical components with 40 staff. So I think if we can, actually if we bring you up slightly like that, put the cargo station angled slightly. Unemployment too high. Where are you? Oh, this is Bosham. That's okay. 83 workers not able to get meat. Is that? Yeah, I've had, this is the second time these guys have stirred up some trouble here. Do I have, let me just see. Can I get you on that corner? It's a very close fit, but I mean, this will be a useful. Just want to make sure that we've got meat in here. The question is storage. I think what we're going to have to do here, I was hoping not to do this, but if we get a refrigeration truck, total capacity, oops, not a prison bus, I want a refrigeration truck, please, game. I'll just buy you, get you in here. Yeah, what we're going to have to do is park a truck there while this is being built. But eventually we can, yeah, it's, I mean, these guys can get to there. They can get there, it's just not. Okay, that's Eastleigh. Eastleigh's got very strong fire coverage. I think I might just nudge that up a little bit here. Oops, what's this here? Okay, these guys need, we need a bus station to accommodate the unemployment as well. So, broken vehicle. Oh, great. Thank you, game. We'll get you there. Oh, you've just arrived. It always tells you that. Let's just have, while we're here, we're just... You can see how relatively quickly that guy is. What we'll do is we'll just send you around for another run. Okay, back to Milford-on-Sea. What we're going to need here is a warehouse. This can store 325 mech components. My instinct is to go relatively big, just so that we, because we could use this to store other things. And by other things, I'm thinking that there's a possibility that eventually, and I'm thinking very long term here, is that it's electro components. Is it electro components? Or is it electronics? So we could, well, that's big. But we could use this as a feed off for electronics as well. And so that means we've now got this road connection here. My instinct is to kind of run. Actually, I think what I might do, that's a little bit kind of curve you around here, something like that. And then what we'll do is we'll take a road directly off from there, like that, and then I can run a road into there. And then what we can do is sort out, oh no, we got that connection there. We just make sure I've got all the, yeah, we got the road there. We can bring a road round here. In fact, I think we're just bring a road out like that, and then trim you back like that. Now comes the fun bit, because what we've got to do is we've got coal coming in from here. This got no connection, so you need to connect to there. So that will get built. This is built, so we need to flag that as coal. Now the actual conveyor belts should be out this side. Okay, another broken vehicle. Okay, we got a tourist bus here broken down. Okay, we got two you go to the scrap yard. They've got another broken down vehicle there. We're certainly gonna need to, did I make a scrap yard here? Oh no, we're still sending to Eastleigh, aren't we? Okay, we'll move you from the route. Let me just see how many. How are we off for tourists? And we got quite a lot of them. Right, let me just break that there. I think what I might do is get by Okay, we've only got space for one in here. Okay. Right, we'll just let that push you down there. Wait for the yag to turn up. And then we're gonna, so what have we got over here now? Got another, what are you? You're a delivery. Okay. Yeah, I've got to get my repair capability up. You can see this one's got to 100% by 8 point in there. So what we're running here, YAG 19s. Okay, well, buy you. Pick you up. Send this to Eastleigh for scrapping. Yeah, the problem I've had here is over here with respect to the crops, the distance from there to there with the slow vehicles. So what I've actually done is I've built a small barn here, and so what we're doing now is delivering the crops to here. Cannot store export still. Haha. Okay, thank you, game. Repair, delivery. I don't really want to. I don't want to. Is there anywhere I can put steel? Well, what I can do is we're over here anyway, so if I tell you to pick up steel from there, and I need somewhere to put steel and open. I don't think I've got an open hole that's got, or an open store that's got things, because these are all full. About bricks. Okay, I've got restricted access to bricks, so what I can do is say still 100%. That's a temporary fix, because I didn't want to produce too many bricks over here. We've got 400 tons of bricks here. It probably applies also to, oh no, the prefab panels are exactly the same. Okay, so I've now got storage there. Now comes the fun bit. Back to what I was looking at, is that we've now got the conveyors coming in here. So what I'm going to need up here is 2 aggregate stores, and I want some reasonably big stores. And one of the problems with this is that you can see there that there's a power connection. So if I can put one there, and that's the wrong way round, I can flip you the other way and kind of push you up like that. Remove that. Now there can be problems with the power connection. We don't need to, we're not going to put the power, yeah, we can get the power connection out. This is one of the reasons why I built the coal fire. So we got 2 stores here. One needs a conveyor, which will probably be this one. So let me just actually, we'll flip you the other way as well. Let me just do that. So if we can get it like that. If I can get you, that's a bit too far out. Actually, if I can get you a sail about like that, so one above the other, can I get, just check the power connection. Okay, we can get you out that way. Just leave that in template mode. Oops, don't want to. Just drag you up to there. This could be a problem. Like that. Yeah, I know unemployment's too high, but there's nothing I can do about it. Right, so yeah, okay, we're gonna have to change this. It's not gonna work that way. We're gonna have to push these like that. We're cancel the HT leads. Right. I could put the one of them over here, because we've got the, we need to bring the coal up from there. So let's just do the coal first. So if I put the put you round that way like that, because there's nothing in the game that says that it has to be directly connected. Actually, let's just get rid of that stupid message, because the bus should be in here by now. Get you into there, push you up that way. Right, that gets rid of that message. Right, so what I'm back here. So what I can do is run a direct line into there, the coal supply. We've got this one here. Let me just see. Okay, that's not as far as I was hoping it would be, but I'll take it. Let me just, can't stretch it any further than that. And we can push the road out that way. Good. So I've got that one there. And then I'm gonna, whoops. Go on, game. Yeah, I knew you could do it in one go. Ideally, I'd like to push it this over as far like that, so that we got plenty of space in here. Because I've got a problem, as Larson Gate suggested, with fuel, but I've also got a problem with bitumen. But I do have a potential solution, but we're gonna have to put it into, in fact, I need to deal with the solution first as well. So because what I'm going to do is put a fuel drop off in here, but that won't infect it, so that's okay. Right, so I've got this here, and what I'm going to need now is we need to bring up, just going to extend this road out, because that's quite an important road. I think what we could do is be a little bit sneaky, because our only source of iron is going to be here. and it's going to be exclusive. See, the reason I wanted this dump here is that I want to be able to control the supply to the, because obviously we need to keep this industry going as well. But eventually we'll put more coal mines down here. But I think what I will do here is we'll put the, what's the biggest dump that we've got available? 5,000. Wow, that's going to be big. Big. Flip that way. Turn you that way. And what we'll do is we'll put you in as close to that railway as possible, because we're not going to spur off the railway, so we can get a nice. So what we can do is bring the iron in from here, because we're going to bring iron in, not iron ore or anything silly like that. And what we'll do then is, where's the power cable again? That's there. And then we've got that there. So what I'll do is we can get under there. So we gotta, I think it doesn't really make that much difference, does it, which way round these go? We can put that's an interesting one. Actually, we can put, actually that could be useful. Let me just put that in. Something like, actually, can we get the opposite way? Yeah, that's, oh yeah, we can put that in, and I can put you up slightly high and slightly wide like that. Yeah, I like that, because it means that we can come here, run this road through there, connect you up to there. Yeah, stop nagging me, game. What is here? Oh, this is an asphalt road. Okay. By the time we get here, we'll be building asphalt roads anyway, so it'd be nice to have a review there. That gives me a road access into this area should I need it. And then it means that all I've got to do now is start down here. Again, we're going to start with pushing this as far as we can. Actually, that's close to the road, so let me just start with a that's about as far as I can get it that way. It didn't drop. That's because it dropped a footpath. Yeah, the game can be a little bit annoying like that, but we should be able to see. It won't. Okay, we'll try again. First you don't succeed, give up. Try again. We're right. If I do it, maybe I shouldn't be pushing quite so hard. If I put you there again, it's not connected. I say this is one of the slightly annoying aspects of the game, but it's done it now. That's good. And then it'd be really great if I can span this in one go. If I keep it close to the tracks, like that. That means we can bring the iron into here. I don't want to say iron ore. Bring it into here, and this will be the store for that, because this will just push the iron. What's the internal storage of the steel mill? 150 tons. Yeah, it's going to be great. So we got this area here. So we've got that set up now. So we've got the iron mine set up here. Now, what I was thinking for over here is that if we come into the, I might as well do it while I'm thinking about it, is we're going to put in a unloading depot there, and then going to run 2 tracks down like that. This has got plenty of space, so we can hook you into here like that. Just get that distance. It's not, that could be a bit short. Okay, let me just change that. That's where this is going to be a bit broad. Let me just measure. We need at least 100 and, oops, thank you game. We need at least 100 and, that's about, so if we put the crossover there, very important, because one of the longest trains that I will be running will be the fuel trains. So we need a good 150 kind of meters there. Now this is where it's going to get right. So if I can run you down to there and into there like that. So move that, and that. Can we shorten this, because I'm a bit worried about the length here. Is there any way we can shorten this a little bit? Let me just see. I mean, I could put a restriction on the fuel train. So that's 180. That's 164. So we could move this back a little bit to say there. Remove you. Make sure you're connected. That looks a fairly equal split. So what that means is that we can bring in there, and what we can do is put over here, we can put a fuel drop off. Now we've got the bitumen tank here. Let me just look at the pipe work from here. Yeah, the inputs are on the right side, so what we can do here is put 2 tanks here, because of course the tanks have to be close to the what we call it here, so that the distribution offices know how to things. So you can be fuel, you can be there, and then what I want to do is run you underground to there. What that will mean is that we can eventually, once we get the oil refining over here, we can ship the bitumen in to here. Now that's going to take some time, so I have another plan which I would like to consider, but I think what we're going to do, and that plan, oops, is not that, it's over here in Eastleigh, and that is to set up something like this. We're gonna log out, produce bitumen locally, enough to keep the asphalt plant going for free. While we're here, how's the livestock? Got 9 tons of livestock in here. We got 4 tons of biological waste coming in. We're also getting the biological waste from this area. Just gonna let him do another little run round. As I say, I don't want to bring the compost plant online until such time as we've got a reasonable amount being produced here to justify switching that on. Otherwise, what we could do is switch it on sporadically. Couldn't pronounce it. Now, my original plan for this video was to plan a food industry out here, but I think that's going to have to wait to the next part because I'm starting to run out of time, and I'm having to limit the length of my videos at the moment to under an hour maximum, simply because at the moment my internet is rubbish, to be honest. So we're just going to take a quick look at here. What I wouldn't mind doing is if we can get this built on a priority process. Let me just get this built as a priority. And what we can do is use that unemployed workforce as another building on fire. This is where it goes boom. Actually, it'll work. And what I was thinking is that we got this work crew here. Traffic jam. Where's that? Looks like it's buses. Oh, great. Got another. I think the problem with these tourist buses is they're not being... Yeah, we got another 100. Okay. I'm going to really need to work on the maintenance here. It's... Again, this vehicle's only 10 years old and it's exhausted, so... you're going to have to go there. What are you then? Okay, Milford-on-Sea. Oh, you're supplying the workforce to here. And that's caused a glitch in the food production. Bit shaky. I need to make some space here. Just get a yag. Then in again. Just shove you down there. I think to finish off, I think I will... What's burning down there? Warstock Jade. Warstock should be okay. We've got water flowing here. Yeah, I know the unemployment's too high. It's going to tell me it's in caution, but we're fixing that for you, game, by using you for the construction labourers. I think we've got a patch of... Let me just see. Actually, yeah, I've got a solution here because I don't think we produce any planks here, do we? Let me just see. Where's the construction office? Yeah, we're actually importing the boards. Okay, so I've got a solution. We've got this little area here. Actually, we got this here, haven't we? So if I could... let me just refresh my memory. Sorry about this. It's the bitumen plant that needs boards, which then turns in the fuel. Okay. Yeah, this will close the loop if I can get it put together properly. We've got the bus stop there. If I go to mods factory, I can't remember what it's called. Sorry, I'm just going to go back over to Eastleigh and find out what this is actually called. Wood pitch. So if I put in, whoops, not wood. Oil press, wood pitch extraction. Yes, thank you, game. So if I get back to here, this is going to be a little bit of a temporary building. Right, I could, ooh, couldn't be that lucky, could I? Actually, we can work it with footpaths. So if I put a wood patch extraction there, okay, we need a small, what we call it, open store. Shit. Like that. Now if we curve the small open store there, we're going to need a wood cutting post. There's no overlap with the, so we can put you in like that. Yeah, I think I can make this work. And then what we can do is put a carpenter's there, because we don't need vast quantities of boards. So we could put a woodcutter's post there, and then go to mods, clear that, change you to storage, and we can just flip you there. I mean, 50 tons of boards would be more than enough for what we need to do. So we got kind of scruffy footpath there, which goes out the, yeah, that can come out. We can, we'll build with gravel roads. Actually, again, sorry about this, I'm just gonna where are you? Right, so let's get the, there's a short length of footpath there. There's a short bit of footpath there. We can remove, because these are really just for construction and fire protection, so they're not like they're major. Again, this is all going to be gravel. That wood cutting post, you could probably just shoot a road in from here to there, and then we could get another road through here to there, drop a road through here to here. Thank you, game. That will, okay, just accept all that lot. And then the final touch is outrun you. Where is the asphalt plant? It's in here somewhere. Oh no, we've got to send it to there. What that would do is, until we get our kind of oil refiner up, this can fill in and be the local industry, and then once we don't need this, we can then replace this with a proper what we call it, a proper sawmill, and that will come there. Let me just check the walking distances. Yep, we've got walking distances to everything, which will go there. The only thing we're going to need to do is just remove you. Okay, you're gonna have to be a bit squiggly. That's okay, that's fine. Actually, we can kind of just connect you in like that. So I didn't get as much done in this part as I'd planned, but at the same time I did do a few things which are kind of overrunning. I will just check the research, because I can't remember if it's actually finished. So yeah, the research is finished. We need this built, and then we can solve our, oh yeah, the one thing we got our refrigeration truck. You go there, go to there, and you can just provide a permanent delivery solution to there. That's going to need a kind of workforce because the distance is too short for vehicles, so you can get into there. That gets that going. Got and of course eventually we're going to expand out this way with the town, because as I say, what I want to do is build another food and alcohol production area here, similar to what I built over here with in Milford-on-Sea, similar to this. So actually what I could do, I'm just going to drop a save. Right, so I'm just going to drop a save. Right, as usual, the reason for the save is that cloning can be, especially when you're cloning quite large amounts of buildings, can be a little bit of a problem. And what I will do is I'll just drop this as in a template, but I will tidy it up. We want this as reasonably close to there because we've got to sort out the railway. Although yeah, we could drop that in there and then just remove that bit of track there. We won't need that because the track will go out that way. Let's see. The only it's a bit too close to here because I didn't pick up the what we call it, as it is in template mode. Okay, let me just do I actually, come to think of it, do I have any warehouses that have direct rail connections at the moment? 800. So we got these that oh, we got a new. I think I need to think about this, guys, but what I probably will do is, because I want to get so much done, I will work on this over time. But what I am interested in is this, because this is a combine harvester and it could be useful. Let me just see. Harvesting. Let me just... It's the PTO. Okay, what is the PTO then? Don't tell me it's actually going to be... Oh, that's 13. At the moment we're using the standards, aren't we? Is that actually a NATO? Let me just see. Okay, let's see if it's a NATO option. Yep. It's only 18, but it's got top speed of 21, 18, 16. It's not that much use, to be honest. Anyway, this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.